Russia and China are both developing next-generation, fifth-generation fighters as they struggle to challenge American dominance of the international system. However, the two great powers are taking somewhat differing approaches to developing these new next-generation machines. Those differences are driven by a number of factors including threat perceptions and requirements as well as access to technology and financial resources. In terms of overall kinematic performance, the Su-57 is likely a superior performer compared to the Chinese J-20. With its three-dimensional thrust vectoring capability and ample thrust, the Su-57 is likely to have excellent low-speed high-angle of attack maneuverability even with the current Saturn AL-41F1 afterburning turbofans, which are rated at 32,500 pounds thrust each. The Russian jet should also have very good supersonic performance, with some degree of supersonic cruise capability even with the current AL-41F1 engines. However, once the Su-57 receives its second-stage Saturn AS-30 engines, which are expected to deliver roughly 28,000 pounds of dry thrust and 42,000 pounds of afterburning thrust, the PAK-FA should be able to achieve kinematic performance, including supersonic cruise and maneuverability, roughly on par with the Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor. Indeed, as one now retired military official with extensive fifth-generation fighter experience had told me some time ago, performance-wise it certainly looks to compete with the Raptor. Recommended, how an old F-15 might kill Russia's new stealth fighter. Recommended, how China plans to win a war against the U.S. Navy. Recommended, how the Air Force would destroy North Korea. While the Su-57 has excellent aerodynamic design, the Russian jet is far less stealthy than the Chinese Chengdu J-20, let alone American stealth aircraft such as the F-22 or the Lockheed Martin F-35 Joint Strike Fighter. While neither the J-20 nor the Su-57 is particularly stealthy compared to American fifth-generation fighters, the Chinese aircraft places more emphasis of radar cross-section reduction measures than the Russian jet. The Su-57 has numerous obvious radar cross-section hotspots including its rounded electro-optical sensor ball, which shows no effort at faceting, its movable leading-edge root extensions, where the leading-edge flaps meet the outboard portion of the wing, its engine inlet design and a host of other problem areas. In short, the Russians consciously chose not to emphasize stealth in the Su-57 design. By comparison, the J-20, which seems to have been heavily based on F-22 and F-35 technology, makes much more of an effort at especially frontal radar cross-section reduction. While some analysts make the spurious argument that canards are not compatible with stealth, there are plenty of American stealth aircraft concepts and technology demonstrators that have used such aerodynamic features including Northrop Grumman's proposal for the Naval Advanced Tactical Fighter and Lockheed Martin's own early Joint Advanced Strike Technology (JAST), which eventually evolved into the F-35 development work. That being said, the J-20 does have some obvious radar cross-section hot spots, particularly toward the rear of the airframe. Nonetheless, the Chinese have incorporated advanced stealth features such as faceting for the J-20's electro-optical, infrared targeting sensor, EOTS, housing, liberally borrowing concepts from the F-35. Moreover, the J-20 also similarly works to conceal its electro-optical, infrared distributed aperture sensors, DAS, missile warning system, MWS, in a similar manner to the F-22 and F-35 designs. The Chinese jet also incorporates F-35-style diverterless inlets, which somewhat compromise aerodynamic performance but are more conducive to stealth and ease of manufacture and maintenance. Overall, the Chinese J-20's airframe shaping is far more conducive to stealth than the Su-57 air vehicle design. The Chinese aircraft likely falls well behind the Su-57 in terms of raw kinematic performance, both in terms of maneuverability and high-speed supersonic performance. The problem the Chinese face is that Beijing lacks a jet engine that can adequately power the J-20. Right now, the J-20 seems to be powered by the Russian-made Salyut AL-31FN engines, which provide roughly 32,500 pounds of afterburning thrust each. However, some reports suggest that the Chinese are fitting early production J-20 aircraft with Chinese-developed thrust vectoring WS-10G copies of the AL-31FN. A more powerful and suitable indigenous 40,000 pounds thrust class WS-15 is under development, but it is not clear when the Chinese will be able to consistently mass-produce that engine. Theoretically, with the new engine, the J-20 should be able to cruise supersonically, but even then it will probably lack the Su-57 maneuverability. Pages.